Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. As we said last night, we're on RailRoader this evening. Quick check everybody can hear me okay. Go toot of the whistle as well. And once we get that okay, we'll get underway. Oh, I'm not sure why it didn't send a notification, that's odd. They did say send one, but maybe they're having an off day. Good you can all hear us anyway. So, as we left last week, we have taken our first load of bridge supplies to the bridge site, and we also ran our first passenger train, and progress was made by the in-game mechanics on sorting out our loco that was derailed. So, we left the last episode having just slept, so this is a brand new day. There are no with our current contractors, there are no current log contracts to take anywhere. So we have the bridge stuff to bring back, and we also have the logs to take up to the forest. Yeah, they might arrive in a few minutes. I have been sat here a couple of minutes, but we'll crack on and see if they arrive, because they do take a few minutes to pop in. So we've got a bit of an easier day so far then, but we can certainly get stuck in. First things first then is to check our new loco. Number one is our refurbished loco. So if you just control click, you can see down here condition 100%. So I think that's ready for a test run and a take up to Ella. So I think what we'll do is we'll make sure number 2 is serviceable. We'll then drag out number 1 with number 2 because it is empty of coal and water. And I think we'll take both locos up to Ella. What we can then do is split the engines at Ella. Number 2 can go and get the bridge site, and we can also then set number 1 to be the AI and take the passenger train back. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck around waiting for it to get to Ella, because it's single line to Ella there. So, how are we doing for coal and water? So we look pretty much full on coal and water for number 2. So that's a good start. So we'll set the points in to go and pick up number 1. Now, obviously, because it's been damaged, all the coal and the water's been emptied. So that we need to go and fill that up. Thankfully, we do have our nice full coal hopper. Good evening, Sugar Rush. Hope you're doing okay. So it's good news that we've got the second loco in active service, because it means we can get that to be doing some work while we're messing around getting wagons into the right place. Right. Don't want to crash into the loco on the first attempt, so we'll take this easy. There we are. We'll connect up the gland heads. Gland hands ready. So they need to take off the handbrake, or we won't be going anywhere. And then let's pull out the new loco and get some coal and water. No problem, Robert. Sorry I couldn't stay too long, but as I said, had some video editing to do last night before I ended for the day. But hopefully you enjoyed your stream anyway. Right, so we want to line up the water first, I think. There we are. Spot on first time, look. Ah, nice, that was quite late then. Did you get up to much other than Flying Scotsman, or you just stick on the ECML? This will take quite a while to fill up because it was bone dry. And we also, as you can see, we're out of coal as well. Now you can actually double head these. Turn the light on because it is quite dark. Just coming up is the sun. Get a picture of the two locos in the sun. Yeah. On the Northwestern Railroad, which is our company name. Right, that shouldn't take too long now. I can move up to get some coal. There we are. That's full of coal ready. And then when we start to put the coal in, you should see the steam start to rise from the chimney. That should be enough. Put the coal in. Go. There we are. You can see the should be able to start seeing the steam any minute. Hopefully. It is 100% ready, so that's good. I'm sat here hoping that it definitely does work. Let's select it. There we go. Steam coming out. That's always a good sign. Right. Right, that's all filled up. So we need to go and check our points, because we're going to pick up our coaching stock. We only have one at the minute, but we're all got to start somewhere. So take both locos and park them on here. And then when we've coupled up, we can actually set them to say, please do double head. That sun does look lovely in the early morning sunrise. Just try not to damage the newly repaired loco first time round. So. Come in nice and slowly. Didn't go in too... I actually went in too slowly then. There we go. Our loco brake on. Connect the brake pipes in and take the handbrake off. What we can do also while we're here is we can set that to Ella, so as soon as we stop, we can start loading. Right, what we can also do before we set off is we come down here, we can select number 1 and we can cut out the brake so it can pass through the brakes rather than use its own, and we can also select MU, which I believe stands for multi. So if we've done this right and it is set up right, both of these should now chuff together and also control the reverser, which you can see there is actually in the setback loco is actually moving as well. So that's looking good for as soon as we set off now that it'll actually start chuffing. So a quick photo before we set off. Good for the intro because we've got a few old photos in there. Yeah, we've got quite a few videos to get out, so that's what we'll be busy doing this evening. Right, I think we'll head off into the station then. There we go. Both working in multi. Bit overkill for one carriage and a caboose, but better than waiting forever while they get to the other end. Let's follow this so we can at least see both engines. So yes, after we've done the bridge site pickup, we've got all of our log wagons just coming up, which we need to take to Connolly Creek. So that's our next job. And obviously while we're doing this, the AI can be busy taking passengers rather than the passengers waiting for us to mess around with wagons. Right, let's get some speed up while we... You can actually see here when I increase the regulator as well, that also increases in the back. So they really are working together rather than just for show, so that's really good to see. And if we put on the brake, you can see that in the bottom all of the car's brakes are being passed through rather than just missing it out. Alright. Try and line this up properly. There we are. So they should already be... Yep, there we are, because we already said that they can start loading straight away. We have 45 people waiting for the train, 8 freight waybills, and I believe we have 8 cars for logs, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. That's all, so that adds up. We ain't got anything untoward here. So we got the oil, which is still being emptied. And we also have stencil manufacturing, which is also not ready for being picked up yet. Right, we'll just get waiting for the passengers to get on. Are we ready? Yep. Anybody else for the 7:05 train. Nope. Right, well, we best get cracking on then. Let's follow this one so we can actually see them working. Pointless being on the front one and not seeing the back one. As I say, a bit overkill for what we've got there, but it does mean we can just get on with the bridge materials rather than we'd have to come up here, wait for the passengers to get to Ella and then run up, so it saves us a bit of time. Right, try not to speed because these are two very powerful locos. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these both up to Ella. When we get to Ella, we'll decouple the front loco. The back loco can either run round or can push the train back in auto coach fashion. We can obviously set that then to be AI to come back and set the flares down, all while we're trying to sort the bridge site out then. Try not to speed, as I say, because these are really overpowered for one coach. Then once we're back, we can tackle the logs. Because the logs do pay quite well actually, so it's a good way of getting your money up. Alright, we're going to start coming up to the dodgy area now on the map. So these two quite sharpish areas really here. You just got to watch out for. There is a mile post just before the 30 start, so that's a good reminder to be definitely down to your 30 mile an hour. And into the 30 we go, nicely under there. Hey, you never know, in a couple of episodes time we could be coming round here with loads of freight and need double heading just to get up the hills and such things. Right, we're out at the 30 so we can get back up to 35. Ella is just round the corner, for a bit of a right turn and then cling and follow the river around to the left. So depending on how many people are waiting here at Ella, we'll decide how we tackle the return journey. Do we run round or just push them back? If there's loads there, then it's best just to push them back because it takes a long time to I think that's best to not be showing emails off it. Could you would it be possible for one of the mods to remove that just so that you don't get spammed with emails? I don't know whether that's being hidden or not by Twitch, but just in case. Here we are. There's 48 waiting, and thank you very much for deleting that. Just don't want you getting spammed, you know what people are like. So we got 59 people in the end actually there waiting. We got space for 60, 48 waiting to go back. And let's just double check Whittier. How many's waiting there? 816 already waiting, so I think it's possibly best to push it back. Just because we have to go down there, run round. And what we'll imagine is this is fitted with auto coach functionality, just like the Great Western Railway. The driver stood on the balcony here controlling the regulator. So what we need to do is we need to untick the cutout and the multi tick boxes. And uncouple. We can then move in while we're doing that. Have they finished emptying? Not yet. We can click that and then sort out the tell it that it's going back to Whittier. Then we can then move off. Unfortunately, I don't have much time to myself to sort that out for you, Roberts, but if you just ask one of your friends, it's fairly easy to sort out. You just go into your Twitch settings and edit a schedule, just in case it looks different on your screen as well. So we'll park up here. So we got £60 for 60 fares there. We did actually leave full, which is good to know. If we just park here for a second, just so we aren't ready too early. How are we doing? Half full. So as I said, this is going to go back as AI. So how we control AI is using flares, or what they call as fusees. So we pop these down on the track wherever you like by Control F. Now the AI will go up to these and stop as soon as it sees one of those. Yeah, we run on a PC, Robert, so I wouldn't be able to help you, I'm afraid. Especially if you're running on Xbox, completely different system. Anyway, as I was saying, these run up to the fuses and stop. So if it was here, you could have something there while it stopped here. So we'll set one down here because they don't go out. So if I run over them, it won't run out. But we know that this is kind of parked in the right spot for when it does the return run. That's always useful. And if we go to Whittier, we know the points are all set right because we've just come through there, no problem. So if we just go back to Whittier, here we are. Now we need to set another fusee for the way back, otherwise they just run on forever. So think of them as kind of red signals. So I think, so the caboose is going to come to here. So anywhere up to the crossing will be fine. We just set one down right on the edge of the crossing. That'll reverse up to it and stop. And it also tells us in the console when it stopped, so we'll know exactly when it's arrived. What we can then do in the meantime is we can go and get the bridge site materials. And we can also, once we know it's run round, actually arrived, we can follow down on the single line while they are filling up. Because we've got 21 people waiting already. And then when we're out of it, we can then send them back on the way while we go and do the logs. So let's go and check how they are doing at filling up. Imagine not too far off, I wouldn't have thought. We've got 55 people on board. No passengers waiting. I'll just give it another minute, just in case somebody comes along at short notice. You see them all, don't you, running along the platform, like they're going to miss it. Give it till 25, so another 20 seconds. If that doesn't go up, then we'll get it on its way, because the other end's already filling up, so it's pretty much full anyway, so it's not like we're running half empty. But what if you are running half empty, what you can do is you can come into here, and instead of sleeping, don't click the sleep button, that's quite easy to do. press the wait 1 hour and that'll move time on an hour, so you might find that you suddenly find you've got enough people then to fill up your carriage. So it's 25 past, there's people just arrived, so we're pretty much full now. So what we need to do is control click once again on the loco, tell it go to the orders menu, and we're going to tell it to use the road. Now, as you can see here, it says I'm going to go forward, fuses, so he's stopped. If we set the max speed to 45, that means it'll use whatever the track speed is, so it'll slow down for 30, speed up for the 35s. And we also want to go in reverse, so as soon as we click this, it'll set off and go on its own merry little way. We'll set that. It'll give a toot to the whistle and the bell, and it'll set off. You can see here it says track speed 35. So that's going to drive itself all the way back to Whittier, and get ready to drop those off there. And in the meantime, what we can do is we'll just set that so we'll go in the right direction. We're already selected in number 2. And if we go up to here, change that. Yep, off they go. This is where the real fun starts, you see. Now you've got to really plan where you, especially when we get to Bryson, this passing loop becomes rather important to make sure you're not in the same place at the same time. So, while they're off back to Whittier, we'll crack on and go and get our bridge supply empties. Good evening, Dorco Sim. How are you doing? Hope you had a nice day. We're just on RailRoader, like I mentioned yesterday. We just made our way up from our base down at Whittier. Just come up to Ella. Now, if you aren't aware of what RailRoader is, we start off with a section between Whittier and Ella, and beyond Ella is a network expansion, but it's actually blocked at the minute by a bridge that was collapsed during the flood water. So we need to rebuild it. So in the previous episode, we'd brought up some supplies to help that. So we're just coming back to get the empties ready for the next phase. So just around here, you'll see the bridge that's in a bit of a state of disrepair. Yeah, it's a really good game, isn't it, Sugar Rush? Quite relaxing. It's not really high intensity, you just play at your own speed, so it's quite relaxing, really. Just don't, like, say you're going to play for an hour, because 3 hours later and you're still playing it, your day just does disappear. Right, here we are. Here's our flatbeds. You can see these are all empty now. There we are. Right, we set... Turns out we set 3 wagons to have handbrakes on, just in case. Safety and all. Right, so we can take those handbrakes off. So yes, here we are. You can see here the buffers here, because there really is just the shell of a bridge here. And looks like they've got some tree felling to do themselves. Hopefully they donate those logs down to where we need to go. But yeah, off down there is Bryson. I won't show everything because that's for another episode once it's open. But yes, we're going to try and get this fixed as soon as possible, because there's a lot more businesses and companies that need materials down there. So it's always good to get this bit opened. If we just check the map, you can see here that... oh, we're already off. Hang on. Put the brakes on. In fact, yeah, we'll set off. We'll set off. I can show you the map while we... So you can see here the bridge is closed, and the extension off to Bryson is closed as well. But once we repair that bridge, this that extension should reopen. In fact, could we check the... we've got the milestones here. Repair Ella Bridge and Track. Phase 2 of 3. How much money do we have? Just to double check we aren't bankrupting ourselves. We've got £4,000, so we can get that phase 2 underway. So that'll deliver another bunch of wagons and materials the next time the interchange is served overnight. So we'll definitely have something to bring up here for the next trip. While we're chuffing into Ella, let's go and check progress on... Ah yes, here we are. It's just arriving into Whittier, so that was a really good timing really. If we... So that means we're free to come past through Ella straight away. We don't need to wait or anything because it's already into the double section. You can see here, easing up to the Fusey, and it'll also give you a toot when it's arrived. Top left of your screen, you should also see it's AI's managed to find a Fusey. There we are. AI engineer NR1 Fusey in the gauge. That means they found one. And also see here, it's emptying off. 50 people, 41 people waiting. So while we're here, I will tell it people for Ella need to board. Right, so that's now absolutely fine for us to get in. What we'll do is we'll set this point ready, so we can pass that, and we can also set it going. As soon as we're in here, we can set the AI going. So here we are, back with our freight train. Got some 15 cars including tender and engine, so 13 cars coming back from the bridge site today. 337 tons, and I do know that it's uphill this way. Here we are. So there's 3 phases for the Ella Bridge site repair. So this is phase 1. We've just bought phase 2. So in game tomorrow we'll deliver phase 2. The day after phase 3 can be returned and started, and then we should be into Ella. So we're progressing quite well. If you just missed that, you can see that they've unloaded. If we go to the console, Whittier Depot received passenger ticket fares, 58 fares. We can turn the tab off because we know where these are going. Always useful just to have those on, just to make sure you know where you're properly going. Once you've got an idea, then you can turn them off and then they're not distracting you. I do like how you've got doors on the front of these. You don't see that in the UK, do you? You can tell it's uphill because we didn't even need to slow down for the 30 there. So the other thing to note about AIs is if it sees a set of points against it. So for example, the points we're about to take at Whittier, if it came to that and it's not set for him, they'll stop as well, to stop any derailments, that sort of thing. So just make sure that your points are set for it, up until at least you'll pass it, kind of thing. So this is a mogul type loco, but you can get Pacifics and tanks as well. There's a bunch of different locos. You can see here, a bunch of different locos for you to own. couple of diesels, and then a bunch of coaches and wagons. So there's plenty of gameplay in this. Hours and hours. And this is all included in the early access $24.99, so there's nothing here that I've bought separately apart from the base game. This is always a nice looking loco, I think, if I remember correctly. It's a Pacific £18,000, so we've got a fair way to go yet before we can afford that. Oh yeah, weeks of gameplay, not just hours. It's I'm coming up to 75 hours gameplay on this in about 2 weeks ish, and I still haven't made it past Bryson yet. Still trying to micromanage everything. Right, here we are. Here's Whittier, so we'll come into the loop. We can then set this to be the other way, ready for the AI to come through. As soon as we've got that, there we are. Clear the we'll be able to throw that across, and now that's thrown across, we can scurry around quickly. Check that these are full-ish. Yep, they're ready to go. So if we just check that orders forward, it'll now come forward and should meet us somewhere. So that'll go to the fusee that's at Ella and empty out when it's there. We know the points are set okay because we've just done this end. The other end hasn't changed. Give him a toot as we pass, of course. Shame he doesn't toot back, but I think that's probably a little bit too much to ask. So he's now going to go off with his 50 odd passengers. We don't need to go that way, so we can switch those. So that fusee will stay there for as long as it wants now, so that's ready for when he returns next. We'll set these points. That's okay, Robert. Completely understandable. I'm sure you'll be catching up on YouTube when these are uploaded. Should hopefully have episode 2 up on YouTube by the end of the week. So if you've missed any episodes, then they'll be up on YouTube for you to catch up on anyway. So we're going to take these back to Whittier Interchange, which, if you're not aware, is just down here, past the sheds, and it's either of these 2 middle lines here. This is a runaround loop, so you'll ignore that. I think we'll go straight on because that's the easiest one to come into. Yeah, it means you can crack on. Otherwise, if you didn't have the AI, you'd be struggling really to keep up with demand, I think. Especially right now, the passengers would be waiting while I'm messing around down here with the wagons. But it also means that there aren't any set routes, so you can set them to do whatever you want. Whether it be come down with the logs or go up with the logs. You can set them to do yard work as well, but I mean, that's a bit more risky. I've set my own thing to now yard work, so we'll keep it going. Oh, I've really buggered it now, haven't I? There we are, let's go. But yeah, you can set it to do yard work and move up one wagon at a time, but Right, let's get into the sidings. Turn my light off. Actually, that's not using. That's using power just for the sake of using it. We're going in the right-hand side of the two sides. Again, if you just press tab if you're not aware, bring up where you're taking them, and then what you can do is highlight where it's going just to see where they are going. And you can see here, as soon as they arrive into the drop-off zone, the signs go dull to make you aware that you are ready to stop. As soon as they're all in and we're clear of the points, there's stopping way too soon. Release the brakes. It's good as well that the longer that the train gets, the longer it takes to take the air out of it. So, which is obviously what would happen in real life. So that's another touch of realism. So again, we won't get paid for this, even though we've delivered them back, because this is our project. But if you brought things back from, say, the sawmill or anywhere else, you'll get paid as soon as you drop them off here. So what we'll do is I'll grab a quick drink, run an advert so they're done for another 45 minutes, and we'll crack on and do the logs. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. You feel free to do the same. Right, yeah. Welcome back everybody. Hope you managed to get yourself a drink and that sort of thing. So, we've now dropped off the bridge materials here at the interchange. Next job for us is to sort out the logs. What I will just do very quickly is just double check where our AI is getting to. I think he's just arriving, you know. Are you arriving? You obviously arrived. You are emptying, so there is 37 people waiting. We can tell it that people are going back to Whittier, so we can start loading. I'll go and I think I'll go and run round, get to the logs while they're loading up. That takes a few minutes to do. This always feels like a long loop to do, but I imagine once you've got it filled up with wagons, it's probably too short. How are we doing for water and things? I think we'll grab some water before we head up there, because I know it's all uphill, so you use quite a lot of water going up. And I really don't want to. I really don't want to have to go and get the passenger train, because it'll all be at Ella, won't it? Knowing our luck, it'll all be at Ella. You have to bring it all back and then go and rescue the log train. So we'll grab some water just in case. I won't go much faster than 20 because these points at the far end are quite sharp. Now, I've never seen marker lights green, but they must mean something. I'm not sure. Someone will know, no doubt. Right, let's go and grab some water. Open our hatch up. Slowly does it. Thereabouts. Oh, nice. Spot on. Well, close enough for the computer, so I'll take that. Right, while it's taking on water, let's go and check on our AI. What should we call him? What should we call the AI? He's number 1 at the minute, but I feel like he should deserve a better name. 43, no passengers waiting, so we'll set him on his merry little way. Off he goes. In auto coach mode. Sam the engineer. We'll take that. Sam's gone on his merry little way. We filled it with water. Hey, we're being rather efficient today. Right. Bye, Sam, yep. Let's get that into the logs. So again, you can see the log wagon also has markers above it. We manually set these contracts up because they aren't auto-assigned. Easy to do, you just click on them and tell them where you need to take them empty, where you want them to go when they're full, that sort of thing. And the rest is kind of all worked out for you. Ooh, here we go. No damage, please. Right, there we go. That's coupled in. Brake test done. What we can do here is, if we go to equipment and customize, we can set our own little fleet colour. So what I'm going to do is, because there are 8 wagons here, just in preparation for the future, we can set the default colour to be a nice... We'll take blue, shall we? Something like a purpley blue. You can see here it's updating. Yeah, let's go for it. That sort of blue, purple. Cadbury's colour. We can apply that. We can then set our text colour, which is the number in here. We'll set that to be a creamy colour. Set that. That looks nice. That's almost, that really is beginning to look Cadbury colour. Right, once that's done, that's not cream, is it actually? Oh yes, it is. Yeah. We can then copy to coupled, which then applies to the same settings as the rest of this one. So there we are. That's copied to coupled. Now we'll always know that these are for the middle forestry area. Obviously, doesn't make a blind bit of difference when you've only got one set, but when you're bringing down multiple, you can definitely see clearly that the purples need to be together, the reds and so on. Right. Now we've done that, let's reverse out and get up to the area. Make way for the Cadbury train. Right, so we've got to pull out here, and then we won't run around these because we'll push them all the way up the hill. Only reason being is there's only a very small loop, and it's not big enough for 8 carriages, so it's much just better to pull them all the way up the hill, really. And yes, these do love to squeal as well, even if you're only going slow speed. I'm not sure why, but right. So we need to keep an eye out for the console telling us that there is a fusee in the gauge. So let's go and make sure our points are set correctly, because we're going on to new territory. So you and I want to do a left here and across the road. Now you can see here is a triangle, which is always useful for when we get to Bryson, because we can use the turntable at Bryson and then the triangle here for turning locos. Oh, you can just heard that Sam has arrived back with his passengers. Busy emptying there. How many have we? No, I'm gonna have to go all the way, aren't I? They're busy emptying. 49 people waiting to go back. Well, that's nearly a full train in its own right. So we'll keep an eye out now for the message to say that they've emptied off and we've got the fare money. One thing to note around here is it says 25. You really do need to stick to 25 or less, really. I have derailed further up here doing 13, so definitely one to just watch how it feels. There we are. So we've got £43 for 43 fares. That means that that's empty now. So what we'll do is we'll just speed ahead a little bit, just while I'm sorting out the passenger area. So here's where we need to go. L1 is this siding here. Well, what we'll do is we'll set a fusee down just before here, and set the points. And if we just go back to our loco now, it's slowed down a lot because I've turned the power down. We'll tell it to go road forwards 45, just so that we can keep it progressing while we're sorting out the passengers. And it also means that we don't derail because I've forgotten to look at the train. So, as always, we need to control click operations and passengers Ella. So there is 56 people waiting. We are full, going to be full again. How are we doing for water and things here? Plenty of coal and water. It's got the light on as well. So if you're just joining us, then we're back on RailRoader. This is episode 3. We've managed to do phase 1 of the Ella Bridge repair. And now we're just going up to the logs area to collect some logs. We've got our AI engineer on the passenger route. He's called Sam. We've named Sam. He's nearly ready to go for his 3rd trip of the day, will it be now, to Ella? So he's doing a brilliant job at getting the people from A to B. You can see in the bottom left that a number 2 AI, which is not going to be named for this for the moment. He wishes to remain anonymous just in case he derails. He's already beginning to slow down, so potentially we're on to we're not too far away now. He's empty. Well, the station's empty. 57 people to go. Orders. Go forward this time, Sam. See you later. Well, Sam's off again to Ella. Keep an eye out for any messages to say that he's arrived. We can just press 0 to jump back to our loco, and yeah, This driver's done a good job. He's made it all the way up here. And he's just coming around the last bend as well, so we'll let him finish his job. Don't want to tread on any tracks. So we've got this set here and into here. What I think we'll do is we're not going to fit 8 in here. So what we'll do is we'll push them all in. Up until the buffers. And then we can skip an hour. Which will then mean that Sam's got some more passengers to bring back. It'll also mean they'll start loading the logs up. So what we'll probably find is that half go next time after the sleep, but it does mean that we're not returning empty then. So he's coming in to into Connolly Creek. Further up here is Connolly Creek's second and third sidings. We'll visit them when we've got some more wagons to take up there. 8's a good number because we can just split the train in half. Are we ready? There we go. We'll shut that door for a start. We can now take back over, tell it that we're going to go manual, take the brakes off, and then we can start running into the siding. So we want 4 in the siding at this point. Should just fit. I think it'll just take 5 if you're specific about it, but it's much preferred to take 4 now and leave 4. Alright, come in here because it doesn't like bashing against the post. So as long as there's 4 in, that'll do me. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can see 5 does just fit in, but we'll leave 4. Just so it makes it nice and easy, nice and half. So if we just pull out here and stop there, just so that it doesn't start loading anymore, we can then go up to our settings, not the shop, as much as I'd like a new loco. Wait an hour, that'll move on, and you can see here 4 ready and loaded and waiting. So we can, we'll go and check on Sam, see how far he's got. Where is he? Oh, he's there. I'm sure he wasn't there a minute ago. I thought he got lost. So he's coming into Ella now. Let's go and check on his progress. He's got 48 waiting to go back, so that's a nice figure to be... And how are we doing for people going from Whittier? Got 57 waiting to go back. Blimey. So, in other words, let's get you back ASAP. Yeah, it's doing well. Obviously, I don't think we need 2 cat coaches at the minute. But it's doing well in the fact that once it's done its return trip, there's enough people to go straight back with. We're not having to just wait. And stop. Oh, bit further. Right, so they should begin emptying now, which they are. Let's put in the instructions that we're going back to Whittier ASAP. What we'll do while they're doing that is we'll do some shunting. So we'll pop these 4 into this siding. I think they'll fit. Hopefully. Keep an eye out for the message to say they've finished emptying. Because really, by the looks of it, we need to be descending that passenger train on another run. Ideally. Stop there. Hopefully we're in. Oof, just. I think that should just be fine. Yeah. They're not overhanging the sleepers, so we should be fine. So there's the message to say they've emptied. So that means pay attention because we're about to be full. We'll go past slowly here. Yeah, plenty of space. Nicely done that. Nope, no. Handbrake off, apply our brake pipes, and we can now move these off. We've got 4 in each siding at the minute. This is the pulpwood siding, that's why they're not being paid attention to there. Oh, that's all right. 4 seems a nice round figure to start with. I mean, we could wait another hour here for them to fill up, but we might find that Sam's too busy with passengers, and it's better to just get 4 down there working. Stop there, attach the pipes, release the handbrake. Our train brakes are on, so we can jump over to Ella again just to see how he's getting on. Where are we? That's it. You're ready to go. 48 people on. Let's get you back. Hi, Sam. He's on it. How fast is he going? It's going up to 35 he is. Right, back over to where we need to be. Let's get the brakes released. These tend to take quite a while to release. And we can get these shunted into... Oh, why do they not say... There we are. Yeah, copy to coupled. So you can see here we've got half full, 300 tons half full. Yeah, I'll get the right button for the bell. Problem with playing Train Sim yesterday and this today is the controls are all over the place. Thankfully, most of it's on the screen, which is always a positive. Right, so again, they're dropping in nicely. We know it fits, so so let's just shunt them in a little bit further, just so they're definitely clear of that other siding should we need it. Let's drop those off there. And we'll pull out into the siding and go and check on Sam, see how his progress is going on. Because we should be back in plenty of time, so otherwise we're going to have to wait for him before we proceed to do anything else. Right, now we're stopped there and the loco brakes are on, we can head over to see Sam, who is almost back at Whittier. So while we're waiting for Sam to get back to Whittier, I'll show you Connolly Creek. So this is where we are at the minute. So up here, so this is quite hilly around here. This is flat, is this straight, as I've worked out. This is actually flat. So if you're pushing a heavy train of logs up, without going silly, make sure you push it up. Into here is definitely uphill. So if you've got a small engine or whatever. This is incredibly steep. You can see there, if we do shift and question mark, you'll see that that's a 2.3% grade. 2.1. It's a bit steeper actually somewhere else, I think. Zoom in a bit. 2.5. It does get steep here. 2.8. 2.4. So yeah, you definitely want to be accelerating up here if you've got a heavy train on. So yeah, Connolly Creek L2 is here. And if we take a left up to the top of the hill, Connolly Creek L3 is here. L3 also has pulp, which is P3, and they also have their own, each one has their own P number. So there is a, all the way up at the top, there is a run round loop. I imagine you'd probably pop your empties here. We just go to the locations and Connolly Creek. So P3 and P4 are up here. There is 2 lots here for pulp, which are there. So you've got this, you got this rather long siding to the left here, and all of these sidings here to take. Just notice that Sam has now arrived back at Whittier. So we'll head down to see how he's doing. They're emptying now. How many people's waiting? 57, so we haven't gone up any. So Sam should just have one more round trip to do for the day. If you are just joining us, then we're on RailRoader. If you've got any questions about it, then please fire away and I'll do my best to answer them. It's an open access game on Steam, which is, if you think about Transport Fever and the ability to have to take things from A to B and shunt them around and that sort of thing, along with a bit of train sim where you have to drive them instead of just set them going. It's one of those games, really relaxing, really enjoyable game. So if you've got any questions, fire away. Let me know if you've got it yourself. How are you finding it? Right, they're emptied, so we can tell they're going to Ella. So we've got £52 for that. So if we check our company window and finance, we're now up to £4,000, which is good because we've already taken out our £750 payment for the Ella Track and Bridge. So we haven't had much income from any other people because it's been quite a quiet day here. So while we're waiting for that to fill up, it's been another 35-40 minutes of playing this game, and Twitch is saying that there's an ad break ready, so I want to get that out of the way so you don't miss a thing. So we'll let that fill up, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you very much, Darko Sim. Not the first time I've done that. At least we didn't go on forever, at least. I was just saying that we've managed to fill up the train. We've got 10 people waiting, so they're going to have to wait for tomorrow's train, fortunately, because we don't run all day. So we'll get these on the move anyway. They want to go forwards. Off to Ella, Sam goes. Bye, Sam. Hello, E-Boss. How are you doing? Nice of you to join us. Right, now he's on his way to Ella. We can go back to our logs. So you can see here that the first logs have been dispatched onto the train here, but we'll leave them up there for another day. Quick release of the brakes. Now, these should may push us down the hill. Yep, gonna need a little bit of getting them going, and then they'll push us down. So you've got to be really careful on this because they will push you over and above the safe speed limit. Yeah, it's rather addictive, isn't it, E-Boss? It's one of those games that once you start playing, it's difficult to put down. But that's what makes a good game. If it's addictive, then you'll keep playing it. If you're not playing it, that's where the problem is. How far have you got on the map, then? Just reduce that. We want to keep it to around 20 around here. No faster than 20, I don't think. Naval Action's not one I've played before, but hopefully you enjoyed it anyway. Oh, you've gone to Alarka, have you? So you're how far are you down here? Let's put some brakes on before we derail. You're a good chunk in then, really. Alarka's the junction, isn't it? I believe. Yeah, here we are. So we've gone down to Alarka. We're only just doing this Bryson bit, so we've just started out on the on this journey. Oh, you play with your partner, do you, Sugar Rush? The passenger runs are always good, especially if you've got multiple drop-offs to do, because they always get rather busy, don't they? We're just doing a back and forth, but once you expand, you've got multiple passengers wanting to go different places, so that's always fun. You don't fancy doing the freight runs just yet, then? Zoom back in, so it's not too far once you we managed to do that quite quickly. How's our Sam doing? He's nearly up to Ella. So we're running between Whittier and Ella at the minute. We're expanding to Bryson. We've done phase 2 of the bridge repair. So once we got to Bryson, we can then expand towards Alorca like you have. You can expand towards Interchange and Silver down there, but that's quite a long way to go, so I think we'll work out towards Bryson and beyond that way for a bit first before we expand towards Silver. Yeah, Bryson's lovely. It's got a big area and lots of different places to deliver to. That's where the real fun starts, really. Yeah, very much early days here yet, so lots of playing and game action and probably derailments to go yet. Oh, does it have a big grade down there? I've never actually expanded beyond Bryson, so I know up until up to Bryson. I've been up to Bryson before, but beyond that I've never got to. So that's all fun and games to come then yet. Right, so how's Sam doing, our engineer? He looks to have arrived at Ella. Hasn't popped up to say they're emptied yet. We'll stop before we shunt in to just double check. Come to a stop about there should be good. Yeah, let's go and check on how things are going up here. There we are at Ella. He stopped for the fusee. Got 10 passengers, got 34 waiting to go back, so that's a good amount. Once they're emptied, we'll set that to go and fill up. There we are, £60 for 60 fares. We're now going to go back to Whittier, so we'll get them loaded in. That shouldn't take too long at all. In the meantime, let's shunt these into the right siding. And in we go. As ever, we'll watch out for these going dull to tell them that they've arrived in their place of drop-off. I think by the time we've got these in here, Sam will be full and ready to deport Ella. There's 2, 3, and 4. That's a good stop. Come to a stop there. There we are. Disconnect. Handbrake on. Let's go and check on Sam. See how he's getting on. This tree. How we're doing. 40 people on, no body waiting. Let's get you back to base then. Right, so they've now arrived and we'll go into the sawmill. You can see one's already gone now. So, number 2's day is done for the day. Duties are done. Let's get you back to the shed, cold and watered, ready for the next day. And we'll put them in your sheds for a quick service and once over overnight. It's all set properly. Take on coal first. There we are. Lower the coal chute down and top up with coal. Shouldn't take too long because we haven't done too much this time round. Yep, that's all done. Let's raise that up and let's get on to the water next. So in reality we had enough water, but you can never be too careful with the water. Oh, I've gone too far again. Should do it. Yeah, there we are. Right, fill up with water and then this loco can go back in the shed. Left. Yeah, we'll put you in the short road, but then we can back in the other one into this road, and the carriages can also go for a quick service as well while overnight. Right, you finished watering. Slowly does it into the shed. Ease off there, that should be enough. How are we doing? Are we inside yet? There we are. Release the brakes, we can then put the handbrake on as well. Yeah. Handbrake's on. Loco is ready for the night. If you are just joining us, then we're continuing our adventure on RailRoader. We've just dropped off some logs to the sawmill. We've done our Ella Bridge material return, and we've done some passenger runs. Hope you're all doing well. Let me know, have you got this game? How are you finding it? So this is our AI engineer, which we've called Sam. Just coming in on his third return trip to Ella and back today. So he has been busy. Welcome to the stream, Gundahar. You're doing Silver to Alarka. I bet that's taking a fair trek. I know Whittier to Bryson takes around 10 minutes, is it, to drive? So Silver to Alarka must be taking you a fair while to get to. There we are. Over an hour, is that just in one direction, or is that a return trip? So you're gonna empty out. Wow, that's some dedication, is that? One direction, so you're looking at 2 hours to do a return trip. Wow. So we've only just recently started this, so we're just running between Whittier and Ella. Hopefully we should soon have the extension to Bryson. Yeah, so obviously you'll know, but when you expand to Silver, the interchange that if we just have a quick look, the interchange that we currently have here at Whittier, this just becomes a normal siding, and as Gundahar has said there, that the interchange moves all the way to Silver, which is another issue, because it's all the way down here, and as you've just said, if you've got something here that needs taking to Alarka, you've got to go through Bryson, Ella, Whittier, Thomas Valley, all the way down here, and as you've just said, that's an hour in one direction. That's quite the distance. But it is good to see it's all included in the price. We'll just take over manual control of this now. So we want to select it and follow it. Yes, that's always useful, isn't it? And then you can get on with shunting while the other one's going further on. Right, we'll get these back into the sheds and watered and cold. They're all ready for the next day's service. Here we are, back into the shed area. got to be careful here because we are going into the sheds. We'll just park those in there. Get some coal and water first though. Oh well, I'm pretty sure someone will back me up on this, but there will become a point that I do derail. It's almost a given. But it's lovely to drive. It's not one of those hard to drive things. So credit where the control person who made the controls is, I think. And there we go. Is that far enough? That's too far. Oh, back again. That should do it. Yeah, there we are. This one shouldn't take too long because Sam's done a good job at keeping the water and coal under control. Right, that's all the water and coaling done. So let's get this train into slowly, does it? So, Gundahar, are you at the point now where you don't need to sleep, or do you find yourself still sleeping between days? You don't sleep? No, I didn't think you would. When you're doing hour trips in each direction, I'm sure the day just passes by really quick. There we go. That should be in ready for servicing. Right, so what we can do now is everything. Let's take the brakes off. Ah, right. So you just keep running the passenger train. That's a good way of doing it. I found just sleeping helps speed things up quicker, especially at this low level. Where you've only got 2 stations to run to, keeps it entertaining. You've got 8,000 passengers a day. That's really interesting. I bet you have quite a few different carriages as well, not just the 1 or 2. Right, so now we've parked everything in there, we can have a look at our company, finance, and locations. So we've got so we can't upgrade any tiers just yet. I don't think. Nope, we're looking at so we got that going. So we got no tiers to upgrade, so I think we're about ready to sleep. Let's just give it a quick check at Whittier and Ella. 5 times 84 capacity, and that's some good going. That's a nice train, is that? We've got 1 active freight bill in the area. Which one is that? Not that one. It's not that. There's one of the wagons of logs finished, maybe. Let's check that. Yes, it has. They've used one of the ones up, so that's nothing to worry about. So that's ready for another day. Let's check Ella, just to double check. Found ourselves in a tree now. There we are. Here's Ella. 23 passengers, no freight, so that's good. So we are okay now to head back to the sheds and sleep. Now we'll see where we get up to. Right. Company window settings, sleep. Paid for the worker. Let's quick daily overview. We had 400 passengers compared to Gundahar's 8,000. 4 cars went to Whittier from the logs. Expenses paid. No cars waiting, repair 1 worker. Good. So here we are, as you've just seen, it's just all skipped in. So we got 1 Ella house, then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 for Ella Bridge site, 1 for Ella Whittier sawmill, 1 for Stenzel. So I think that's a good point to end today's stream in this episode. When we come back, we've got some shunting to do, more freight trains to run, more passenger trains to run. Only had 2 derails so far, sent my entire freight train off the rails. 1 minor incident where unhooked cars rolled down the line. Yeah, that's quite the derailment, is that? We haven't had any derailments in this, but I have had a derailment off stream. So yes, another 2-hour stream done. More progress made. I'll be back another day for more progress. But I'd like to wish you all a lovely evening. Thank you all for the follows and the chat. Hope you all enjoyed it. Sam Houston, thank you very much for the follows. We're just leaving now. I hope you all have a lovely evening, and I'll see you again next time.